So, Hunting Matthew Nichols. Look, I did not want to see this movie, guys. I showed up to my Regal Mystery Monday screening genuinely hoping for something else. I was thinking maybe Faces of Death, maybe the Lee Cronin mummy thing people are talking about. And then when I found out it was Hunting of Matthew Nichols, a movie I never even heard of until that morning, starring nobody I recognized, directed by a guy whose previous biggest credit is starring in There's Someone Inside Your House, I was like, okay, whatever, fine. I was honestly thinking, if this isn't good in the next 10 minutes, I'll go sneak into Ready or Not 2, which was about to start. And then this movie did suck me in. Now, let me be real with you. When I was walking out of the theater, and it was pretty packed for a Monday night, the consensus around me was brutal. Someone literally said, that was a waste of money. Multiple people called it predictable. The Regal subreddit was not kind. So I'm clearly in the minority here, and I think I understand why. This is not a movie for everyone, but here's what I think those people are missing. Hunting Matthew Nichols is a mockumentary horror movie about a woman named Tara Nichols, played by Miranda McDougal, who 23 years after her brother Matthew vanished on Halloween night on Vancouver Island, hires a documentary crew to investigate his disappearance. The director plays himself as the filmmaker behind the camera, and the whole thing is constructed like a true crime documentary. Talking heads, archival evidence, interviews with locals, experts, all of it. And yes, you can kind of see where it's going. I'm not going to pretend this film is unpredictable. It isn't. It follows the logic of its myth, the way these movies have to. But here's the thing. Lake Mungo is also predictable. If you've seen enough of these, Blair Witch is also predictable. The point is not the destination. The point is how it makes you feel on the way there. And this movie creeped me out. I'm not kidding. I really enjoyed this movie. Because, when it started, I was like, this movie, should I just wait to watch it online? And then I was thinking Ready or Not 2, And then I'm like, this is a movie different from Ready or Not 2. I'm not going to get chills watching a movie like that. A movie like this where I don't know anyone on screen, where I really have, there's less predictability here than a big studio blockbuster. And something about that, along with the craft of this, drew me in. What the director does really well, and this is the thing that I think connects it most to Lake Mungo specifically, is the way information is revealed. It's not just slow burn for the sake of padding. Every piece of evidence lands naturally. The mythology of Vancouver Island, the local folklore. There's this animated sequence with an anthropologist explaining these regional legends. It all builds something. There's a sense of texture and place that a lot of low-budget horror just cannot pull off. It really understands momentum. The film also has some of the best deployed jump scares I've seen in a while, and I mean that in the Lake Mungo sense. These aren't cheap gotcha moments, they're earned. I mean, there's really only one jump scare that I could think of, and it's all the way at the end, and the slow dread totally earns it. And again, it's not like I was bored. I kept wanting to know where this was going. This movie was very suspenseful for me. Look, it can be a bit cheesy in places. There are moments that feel ridiculous, but that's part of the charm for me. This is a movie made on a shoestring budget, shot in December on Vancouver Island in the gray and the rain, and it manages to be more effectively scary than movies with 5 times the budget. I also saw Undertone and They Will Kill You around the same time, both bigger, splashier, kind of satanic horror films, and honestly, this was the scariest of the 3, which I did not expect. Now, when I want to be direct about this, I think part of why this works for me and may not work for you is that I have a genuine love of independent filmmaking. When I see a movie like this operating at this level of craft with these resources, I respond to that. I can't help it. There's something about a filmmaker committing fully to a concept and executing it with real intentionality that gets me every time. A lot of people are comparing this to Shelby Oaks, Chris Stuckman's recent movie. And I thought this was so much better. I thought Hunting Matthew Nichols is far more suspenseful, it's far more focused, and frankly, it's much scarier. Keeps you hooked in a way that movie just didn't for me. The comparison I'd actually make beyond Lake Mungo is Butterfly Kisses, a movie from 2018. It's a found footage film built around an urban legend and a filmmaker's obsession with proving it's real. It has a similar mockumentary DNA, a similar low-budget commitment to mythology building. If you like that, you'll probably like this. Both films understand that the legend isn't the point. The people chasing the legend are the point. I went into this movie not caring, and I came out thinking about it. For a Monday night mystery movie I wasn't even excited for, that's a win. I think this is worth your time. With the caveat that if you need your horror to move fast and hit hard, this is not that movie. This is a slow, creepy mockumentary folk horror film that rewards patience. I liked it a lot, actually. So go see this movie if you're a big fan of weird indie horror.